slowly in ourselves. First of all, we had to admit that we had many of these defects, even though such disclosures were painful and humiliating. Where other people were concerned, we had to drop the word blame from our speech and thought. This required great willingness even to begin. Once over the first two or three high hurdles, the course ahead began to look easier. For we had started to get perspective on ourselves, which is another way of saying that we were gaining in humility.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Sam.
Of course.
Yeah, step 4 for me was a pretty large step because I was almost 50 years old and I hadn't really ever taken a personal inventory of myself, and was constantly blaming other people. Hang on, let me get him. But once I took that personal inventory and started looking in at myself, and then progressing to step 5, it really was a big breaking point for me in the 12 steps. I mean, an important one. I don't know, it's Cassie. Cassie, you've gone through all 12 steps. Do you have any comments on step 4 for you as well? Bad time.
Yeah, it's an insane time right now.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Try to come back and then maybe he won't be screaming.
Hey, Matt, you know what? I could actually get in here and help out Jann Alcoholic.
Yeah.
So, what we should do now is go around the room and do classroom work. Okay, and so we just read step 4 in the 12 by 12, and we're reading a chapter every week. Did you finish the whole chapter?
No, this is a long one. So we're about halfway through, actually. I mean,
Okay.
There's still about 6 more pages.
Okay, so read the other 6 next week. All right. So then what we'll do is do classroom work. And those of you who are new, you're going to see what this meeting is all about. It's a workshop, and it's a class. It's AA 101. And anyways, I'm Jann Alcoholic, so thanks for doing that. So let's get right to classroom work right now. And over to Ron. So Ron, we did your 3rd step yesterday, right, in the big book?
Yes.
All right, so go. What was your assignment for yesterday and last night? You're reading assignment, right?
Actually reviewed another segment on. You didn't give me an assignment, but you asked me to watch another video.
That's right. That was your assignment.
But a YouTube. I'm sorry.
That was your assignment on the 4th step.
Right. I did that.
All right, there you go. That's what you were supposed to do. And now today we just read the 4th step here in the 12 by 12. So now you're ready to get going on your 4th step, right?
Yes.
All right, so here we go. If everybody turns in your big book to page 63, and is there anybody else in here that was supposed to get the instructions on the 4th step? And if you can put a link up, Matt, to the 4th step in the big book. I thought there was one other person that was supposed to get the instructions on the 4th step. No? Watch, they're going to come and tell me later, oh, I was supposed to do that. All right. So let's do it right now. So on the bottom of page, so you did your 3rd step. You have God in your life. You've got the big healing, right? And you're off into the 4th dimension. Correcto?
I'm working on it.
You're hanging in the clouds. The Lord came into your bedroom last night and said, "Rise, run, and be healed. Go forth. Preach the good news of Alcoholics Anonymous." No? Okay. So let's start reading from next we launched on. 4th step's up there for those of you to follow along. Everybody follow along in your big book. Remember, this is a class. There's no hanging back in here.
I'm Ron. I'm Ron. I'm alcoholic. Next, we launched on a course of vigorous action, the first step of which is a personal house cleaning, which many of us had never attempted. Though our decision was a vital and crucial one, it could have little permanent effect unless once followed by strenuous effort to face and to be rid of the things in ourselves which had been blocking us. Our liquor was but a symptom, so we had to get down to causes and conditions. Therefore, we started upon a personal inventory. This was step 4. A business which takes no regular inventory usually goes broke. Taking a commercial inventory is a fact-finding and fact-facing process. It is an effort to discover the truth about the stock in trade. One object is to disclose damaged and unsellable goods, to get rid of them promptly and without regret. If the owner of the business is to be successful, he cannot fool himself about values. We did exactly the same thing with our lives. We took stock honestly. First, we searched out the flaws in our makeup which caused our failure. Being convinced that self, manifested in various ways, was what had defeated us. We consider its common manifestations. Resentment is the number one offender. It destroys more alcoholics than anything else. From it stem all forms of spiritual disease. For we have not only been mentally and physically ill, we have been spiritually sick. When the spiritual malady is over, we straighten out mentally and physically. In dealing with resentments, we set them on paper. We listed people, institutions, or principles with whom we were angry. We asked ourselves, why were we angry? In most cases, we found that our self-esteem, our pocketbooks, our ambitions, our personal relationships, including sex, were hurt or threatened. So we were sore, we were burned up. On our grudge list, we set opposite each name our injuries. Was it our self-esteem, our security, our ambitions, our personal or sex relations which had been interfered with? We were usually as definite as this example.
Okay, stop right there for a second. So now, have you done this type of fourth step before?
Yes.
You did, like what, years ago?
It's been, yes.
Okay. So you know how to do this then.
Yes. If you want me to do it exactly how the book describes it.
Well, the way we do it, and Matt, can you put up, don't we have an explanation on our 5 columns? I think we
Yeah, let me
do.
look.
Go ahead and find that and put it up. So what you're going to do is you say, okay, the example here is I'm resentful at Mr. Brown. The cause is his attention to my wife, and what it affects in him is his sex relations, okay? But we add 2 more columns. The one column is my part, called my part. What was my part in this with my resentment against Brown? And then the 5th column is, there it is. He just put it up. The 5th column is my fears. What are my fears in connection with this? So go ahead and read through this, read through the columns and keep going, and then we'll go to the next page. Good job.
I'm resentful at Mr. Brown. The cause, his attention to my wife, affects my sex relations, self-esteem. I'm resentful at Mr. Brown. The cause, told my wife of my mistress, affects my sex relations and self-esteem, the fear in parentheses. I'm resentful at Mr. Brown. The cause, Brown may get my job at the office, affects my security and self-esteem. I'm resentful at Mrs. Jones. The cause, she is a nut, she snubbed me, she committed her husband for drinking, affects my personal relationship, self-esteem, fear. I'm resentful at Mrs. Jones. The cause, he's my friend, she's a gossip, and he did not put anything that affects mine. I'm resentful at my employer. The cause, unreasonable, unjust, overbearing, threatens to fire me for drinking and padding my expense account, It affects my self-esteem, fear, and security. I'm resentful at my wife. The cause misunderstands and nags, likes Brown, wants house put in her name, affects my pride, personal sex relations, security, and fear. We went back through our lives, nothing counted but thoroughness and honesty. We were finished when we were finished, we considered it carefully. The first thing apparent was that this world and its people were often quite wrong. To conclude that others were wrong was as far as most of us ever got. The usual outcome was that people continued to wrong us and we stayed sore. Sometimes it was remorse and then we were sore at ourselves. But the more we fought and tried to have our own way, the worse matters got. As in war, the victor only seemed to win. Our moments of triumph were short-lived. It is plain that a life which includes deep resentment leads only to futility and happiness. To the precise extent that we may permit these, do we squander the hours that might have been worthwhile. But with the alcoholic, whose hope is the maintenance and growth of a spiritual experience, this business of resentment is infinitely grave. We found that it is fatal. For when harboring such feelings, we shut ourselves off from the sunlight of the spirit. The insanity of alcohol returns and we drink again. And with us, to drink is to die. If we were to live, we had to be free of anger. The grouch and the brainstorm were not for us. They may be dubious luxuries of normal men, but for alcoholics, these things are poison. We turned back to the list, for it held the key to the future. We were prepared to look at it from an entirely different angle. We began to see that the world and its people really dominated us. In that state, the wrongdoing of others, fancied or real, had power to actually kill. How could we escape? We saw that these resentments must be mastered, but how? We could not wish them away any more than alcohol. This was our course. We realized that people who wronged us were perhaps spiritually sick.
Can I stop you right there for a second, please? So up here it said we turned back to our list, for it held the key to the future. We were prepared to look at it from an entirely different angle. We began to see that the world and its people really dominated us in that state. And here it is, the wrongdoing of others, fancied or real, had the power to kill. So alcoholics have a tendency to be delusional. We'll be at work and we will come up inside our heads, um, all and create all kinds of scenarios about how this person's out to get us, how that person's out. I mean, we've been witnessing this on a grand scale in the last presidential election. We have a guy that is has half the country convinced that people are out to get him. Seriously fucking delusional. Well, when this book was written back in the 1930s, Franklin Delano Roosevelt had um, done his first inaugural speech in 1932, and Bill Wilson ripped his lead paragraph right out of his inaugural speech, which is, "We have nothing to fear but fear itself." So in AA, Bill Wilson picked this up and they went right at this because we saw that we alcoholics are slightly delusional, drunk or sober. We will, if we don't work this 12-step process, step 5, 6, 7, and 8, we start walking around with our own thoughts in our minds, bouncing off the walls, being slightly, paranoid and delusional. So this part is really big because a lot of this, what you're reading about here right now, gets conquered in steps 6 and 7, and by continually doing a step 10 on a daily basis. So if we decide that we're going to attack, say, someone at work or someone in the family or a family member or that guy on the street or this person over here, we have a 10th step to go in and review what the hell's going on inside our head. Is this rational or is this insanity? And in the case of the alcoholic, it's insanity. Go ahead, Ron, keep reading. Hope you enjoyed that, my little rant.
Though we did not like their symptoms and the way these disturbed us, they, like ourselves, were sick too. We asked God to help us show them the same tolerance, pity, and patience that we would cheerfully grant a sick friend. When a person offended, we said to ourselves, "This is a sick man. How can I be helpful to him? God save me from being angry. Thy will be done."
You know, I don't know that everybody is sick. Bill Wilson seemed to think that when we get offended by somebody else, it's their fault because they're sick. I don't agree. I don't think so. We get offended by anything and anyone because we're nuts. Okay, go ahead.
We avoid retaliation or argument. We wouldn't treat sick people that way. If we do, we destroy our chance of being helpful. We cannot be helpful to all people, but at least God will show us how to take a kindly and tolerant view of each and every one.
Okay,
Referring
this is the our part. Okay, this is that fourth column. Here it comes. You're about to read it.
Referring to our list again, putting out of our minds the wrongs others had done, we resolutely looked for our own mistakes. Where had we been selfish, dishonest, self-seeking, and frightened? Though a situation had not been entirely our fault, we tried to disregard the other person involved entirely. Where were we to blame? The inventory was ours, not the other man's. When we saw our faults, we listed them. We placed them before us in black and white. We admitted our wrongs honestly and were willing to set these matters straight.
Okay, now the next part is the fear inventory, column 5. Okay, and here it is. Go ahead and read it.
Notice that the word fear is bracketed alongside the difficulties with Mr. Brown, Mrs. Jones, the employer, and the wife. This short word somehow touches about every aspect of our lives. It was an evil and corroding thread. The fabric of our existence was shot through with it. It set in motion trains of circumstances which brought us misfortune we felt we didn't deserve. But did not we ourselves set the ball rolling? Sometimes we think fear ought to be classed with stealing. It seems to cause more trouble. We reviewed our fears thoroughly. We put them on paper, even though we had no resentment in connection with them. We asked ourselves why we had them.
Okay, stop right there. So that's as far as we're going to read. It goes on into the sex inventory, and you can also do that if you want to. But so let's get started on the first 5 columns, okay, and see what you come up with. How's that
Okay.
sound? All right, are you good?
Yeah.
And you got 74 days sober, so that's a big deal.
Thank you.
I mean,
No, that is a big deal. It's a miracle.
I know it is. It's a real miracle. I know it. I mean, anybody in here that's doing this class with us, you are a miracle because only the hardcore come to this meeting. Everybody, people that want the easier, softer way, they find an easier, softer meeting. Hey, Aaron, I like the hat. Very cute. And then JT made this background for us. I asked him to make us a Christmas background. I can send this to anybody who wants them. You can kind of see it here. I think it's kind of stupid, but I like it. Um, he's got Santa Claus and reindeer and elves going to an AA meeting. And it's like insane. I'm like, all right, good job. So, Aaron, I love your hat. You're gonna do a 5th step today, so that'll be good. We'll be seeing you in a while.
Do
Actually,
I
I think
just hang tight after the
Cassie,
meeting on here?
yeah, and
Okay.
Cassie's going to do it with you. I have to go pick up my car. So,
Okay.
and you're in the Christmas spirit. That's what we like here. Um, Emily, what are you working on, girl? Where'd she go? There you are. Hi. I see you're in the dark. Always a bad sign.
Sorry, I'm in the car.
Oh, you're in the car.
Emily,
Okay, yeah.
I'm doing my 5th step with Cassie and you tomorrow after the meeting.
That's right. Okay. And then did you read did we have you read, what are the pages for the fifth step? No, we didn't give those to you, did we? Pages for
No.
the fifth step are 71 up to 75. 71 to 75. Okay, so read those for tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the fifth step right there. That's the instructions for the fifth step. Okay, and Matt just put up a link to all of that in chat. Okay, good. Glad you're here and glad you're still coming. Very excellent.
Thank you.
Go. Let's see here. Let's go over to some of these other new kids that are working on things. Okay, Lauri, what was your recent reading and writing assignment?
I read How It Works and I did the first half of step 1.
Okay, you read How It Works and you did the first half of step 1, which
Correct.
is, what did you come up with? It was starting with the last time I drank, working your way backwards to the first time you drank, what I drank, who I was with, when it was, uh, what happened, what the consequences were. And for those of you curious, it's in chat right now. Matt just put it up. So how many did you come up with?
I didn't count them, but probably 15 or 20.
Okay. You want to read one to us?
Do I want to what?
You want to read one to us?
Sure.
One of them, anyone that you would like, feel comfortable reading?
I can read the first one. I'm not shy about any of this. There's no point, right?
Well, I mean, sometimes, like if you rob the 7-Eleven when you
I mean,
got drunk, you don't want to read that one. It would be like, oh, wait a minute, that's a mistake. Okay, go ahead.
no, this one was I went to the grocery store. This is my last drink on 10/6. And there was a large wine section. I didn't have any thoughts of drinking. Felt like I was on autopilot when I suddenly turned into a mini mart, bought wine, drove home, and came out of a blackout 4 days later. And the consequences is I was told that my granddaughter was present on the last day, and I drove her. And I've been her stability for most of her life, and she's never seen me drink. And I destroyed her sense of security and scared her half to death, and scared myself half to death because I've never done that before.
Well, you'll have chance now to make amends to her, huh?
That's right.
All right, perfect. Now we're going to have you do the second half of the first step, which is called versus admitted we were powerless over alcohol and our lives had become, excuse
God bless.
me, pollen or some kind of dust, who knows? Okay, so in the second half of the first step, we write about our um, unmanageability of our entire life, and I think it is up in chat. Thank you.
Okay.
So, second half of the first step, write about the unmanageability of your entire life, drunk or sober, in these following areas. Finances, family, wife, husband, cats. No, that's cars, sorry. School, pets, relationships, friends, the law, and health. So, one for me, the law, unmanageability of my entire life in the area of law. I was always getting pulled over, and it was never for drunk driving either. It was always for you have, your license, you don't have your license plates on your car, or that was one. I would like lose, I don't know, I'd lose my license plate or I'd transfer plates from one car to another, and they'd get lost, or I make paper ones. Or and the other one would be I'd get like a ticket for failure to turn left, and you're supposed to pay a fine. So I didn't pay the fine. So then they order you into court, and I didn't show up. So then you get an FTA, failure to appear. That's a felony. And then they come to my house and arrest me and take me to court, take me to jail and then take me to court. And the judge would say, well, why didn't you pay the $30 fine? You had to go to jail. I'm like, well, this is fucking stupid to begin with. He said, you may be right about that, but you're the one who just spent the night in jail. So, and then, you know, I never catch a felony, I'd have to pay. So that would be me in the law in the early days. I was always kind of screwing up. With you, it could be anything else. Are you getting this?
I got it.
So you just come up with some on each one. And then what was your last reading assignment?
How it works.
How it works. So have you read all the other chapters previous to it?
Yeah.
Okay. As an assignment right here. How about that? That's pretty amazing. So you read, you didn't do this on your own, right? You did it as an assignment that we gave you, or did you do it on your own?
I did. Well, I did actually. No, that's not true. I did. Wait a minute. I did not read more about alcoholism and we agnostics as an assignment. I did that on my own. I did There's a Solution as an.
Okay. Read more about alcoholism, okay?
Yep.
For tomorrow also. Okay, good job. Way to go. Keep going. You're doing excellent. You really are. Emily, did I call on you? I did, didn't I? Did she? Yeah, that's right. You're going to do your fourth step tomorrow. Right. Monica in New York. Hey, Monica, how's it going? What was your last reading and writing assignment? For those of you new to this meeting, you're kind of seeing what's going on. This is a classroom. It is a workshop. And we just take everybody right through the steps in about a month and a half. Go ahead, Monica, you're up. Jen to Monica. What was your, is this our first time here, Matt, or has she been here?
No,
You are.
she's from Long Island near the mental hospital.
Okay. Monica. Glad you like it, Drew. Monica, come on in. Everybody you have to pay attention to this. Oh, turn your cameras on, guys. All right, are your cameras on here? Oh, Christ. You didn't turn all this stuff off here. Matt. You know you're supposed to do that when you open the meeting. Cassie, do you know that? Aaron, you too, we turn everything off in the more part. Do it now. Let's see. So let's go to Joe in Boston. Turn your camera on. How you doing? Excuse me. So Joe, what's your last reading and writing assignment?
My last reading assignment was Bill's story.
And what was your writing assignment?
My writing assignment, I just listed out the instances of drinking.
And you wrote them out?
Yes.
How many did you come up with?
Well, I ended at 10, but I had a lot of clumps, if that makes sense. I mean, I could write about.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, I could write about more, but doing something silly in a bar in college when people just laughed at me, then, oh, I did just think of one to add. But
okay, so come up with one. Okay, so it would be when it was, what you drank, who you were with, what happened, what the consequences were. Did you follow that format?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Okay.
I am going to, I don't remember the date. No, it would have been 2020 when I slipped.
That sounds fine. And you say it would be like, so it was the summer. It was winter. We don't really care about the year. Okay, go ahead. What did you drink? What did
I
you
don't
drink?
remember if it was the fall, but
what did you drink?
I honestly don't remember what I drank. Probably beer, based on.
There you go. So write that down. Probably beer. Who were you with?
I drank alone.
Okay.
I mean, there might have been
what
people.
Happened?
There may have been
we're doing
people
this.
around.
Listen to me. Listen, you're doing this incident by incident. The reason that we break out each individual incident is so that we can see this is what I'm like when I drink. Okay, it's very distinctive. It's definitive.
Okay, well, this one was interesting to me because,
No, we're not interested in how interesting it is. All we want to know is what
okay,
happened.
well, I gave up AA. I had been in AA before and I completely gave it up for a couple of years.
Okay, so you were drinking beer. Where were you?
I was at home.
Okay, you were at home, and you decided I'm giving up AA?
Yes,
I don't
because
believe
I
so.
was mad at my
Okay, and what were
sponsor.
the consequences of that night drinking?
Um, well, the consequences were that all the work I had put into AA, all the friendships I've made, because this was before COVID, when everything went online,
Mhm.
I
So,
just felt
so that was it. You didn't see those people anymore, right?
right.
Okay, did you get any DUIs?
I did, but not then. That was that,
Well,
yes,
no,
during
wait,
that.
wait. So when's the last DUI you got?
That's why I did come back.
Okay, well, tell us about that. When was that?
Um, it was leaving a client's house.
When was it?
October.
12 days ago?
No, probably a month before that.
Okay, a month before. So when it was, what did you drink?
I drank vodka.
Vodka. What happened?
Um,
I got
I
in my car.
I got in my car. I thought I was okay,
And then what?
and I got pulled over.
Good. There you go. Perfect. And what were the consequences of drinking and driving?
I lost my license for a period of time, and
You got a DUI?
yes,
Did you go to jail?
and I am divorced. So, well, I lost
Oh
my
wait,
license.
did you get divorced that night?
No,
No. So we just focus on the night. Um,
well,
did they throw you in jail?
no, no, not at all.
You got a DUI and you didn't go to jail?
I didn't go to jail.
You're the first person in the history of AA that never went to jail on a
That's what
DUI.
everybody tells me. Yeah, everybody tells me that. And the only thing I did, I was like, my daughter's home alone
Yeah.
because I was expecting them to put me in jail. And I said, somebody has to call my ex-husband and have him get her because I wasn't
So
thinking I
they
was
let you go. Where was this in Boston or near?
Boston area. I'm sure,
Okay.
and they're not even known for being nice cops
Well,
there.
they
So
were
I don't,
nice. They were
but
nice to
actually,
you.
I
You
just wanted him to get my daughter. I didn't want
okay,
him,
so
her
now
home alone overnight.
listen, stop. So excellent job. Um, so now what we want you to do is we're gonna move you on to the second half of the first step.
No, I did. I'm working on that now. You gave it to me last night.
I did. Okay. What did you come up with?
I am preparing myself to do it. I had a couple things. I'm going to start tonight.
All right, there you go. So do you find this hard? Is that it's a kind of a struggle? Is it painful, emotional?
It's painful. It's
Yeah.
it's not really hard. I've actually gone through the first 5 steps before I slipped.
It doesn't matter. That doesn't count
And
here.
so but the
Step,
feelings I've been through before,
okay, so listen, two things, okay? We don't care about feelings in this class. We don't care what you did before. We only care about how you complete the assignment. So you have to
okay,
have a, listen to me, you have to have a talk with yourself. When you do this, you say, okay, this is just a class. I'm just writing this down. If you live through it, you can write about it. All right. So this is a very sort of directed process that we're doing here. And I know it's very painful for me.
it is.
Don't get me wrong. I know how painful this is.
Mhm.
But you are here and you're coming every day and you're doing it. So, um, it's like good on you. You're doing a good job. Um, this is a new kind of AA meeting here. This is like AA 3.0, where we get very focused on what is it? So you're writing on your first step so that it gives us clarity. This is
Mhm.
what I am like when I drink. All of this goes to hell. And we save that and keep it. So good job. What was your last reading assignment?
Bill's story. I
All
did
right.
Bill's story, A Doctor's Opinion.
Okay, so would you also read There Is a Solution, please?
There is a solution, sure.
Yes. All right, for
Same
tomorrow.
thing with 5 key points, or
I don't really care. I want you to get writing on these other things.
okay.
Try to do the writing on these. It's called the unmanageability of my entire life
Yeah,
in
I
these
have the
areas.
slide
I know,
for
but
it.
listens.
Right.
Don't listen to me. Don't bat me away when I'm talking. Okay. So you want to come from the place, I don't know anything. You want to be teachable. So write about the unmanageability of my entire life, drunk or sober, in these areas, in the areas of money, family, husband, wife, school, kids, pets, relationships. So you could take every relationship you've ever had and write about how it was unmanageable. Or you talk about your friends, how that was unmanageable. Because we all lose friends. So, I mean, we pretty much screw everything up, right?
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, okay. All right, do you have your Christmas decorations up yet?
Me?
Yeah.
I hurt my foot last January and I never put them in the storage unit.
So you left them out all year?
Sort of, they're stacked away until I could deal with the stairs to put them away.
Have you noticed my little photo that we have behind me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. All right. Glad you're here, Joe.
Thank you.
Good job. Cassie. Oh, she can't talk. She's busy. Okay, just excuse me. Okay, Jason, here you go, man. What are you working on, man? Your last writing assignment and reading assignment. Sorry, I can't hear you. Something trying. Still can't hear you. It says you're unmuted, but no voice is coming through. I wonder. No, let me see. If you go over and click on, are you on a PC? Okay, now unmute. Let's see. Unmute yourself now. Go try it again. Talk. No. Go over here on your left-hand side if you have a PC. Are you on a computer? Shake your head up or down. Okay, are you on a PC or a Mac? You're on a PC. Okay. Uh, over where the microphone is, on your bottom left, there's an arrow that goes up. You see the arrow, click on the arrow, and then it says, on the very bottom, it says test, speaker, and microphone. Hit that, see what happens. Is it working?
Okay.
Now I can hear you. Yeah.
All right, cool.
It fixed it, right?
Yeah, it was on a projector from work. So I read Bill's story also, and I did the first half of the first step.
Oh, good. How many did you come up with?
I only did like 8. I mean, I didn't want to go forever, but just want me to give you like the most recent.
Why don't you pick any one you want, sure.
Basically, the last time I drank was 10/21 of this year. I was on like a 2-month bender drinking vodka by myself, going to and from work. And I actually had a meeting with the boss from work that I had called the week before, and I was still drunk when I went in. And they had already kind of known that I'd been drinking, but nobody really said anything. And he actually just called me out on it, and I admitted it. I told him I needed help, and he stood behind me, and I went to rehab that day, and I got out 11/21 of like 2 weeks ago.
You've been coming here ever since, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and yes, you don't have to call me sir. And what does the oh, and this is your first go around in AA kind of thing?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, if you feel like calling me sir, just call me dog.
All right.
Yeah, yes, dog. Or all right, you know, some people call me Jan Dog, Jan Doggy Dog, the notorious JANN. It's a gangster. All right. I look like a gangster, right? No.
Yes.
I show up around gangsters. I have a golf shirt on and fucking chinos or something. Okay. So you read? Did you do this? You did the second half or just the
No,
first?
I haven't done that yet. Do you want me to do that now?
Yeah, you heard all the instructions on it, right, from today?
Yeah.
Do the second half. What did you read?
Bill's story.
Okay, did you read all the other chapters? Have you read the doctor's opinion?
Yeah.
Did you read There is a Solution?
I have not read There's a Solution yet.
Read that for tomorrow.
Okay.
All right, good job. You
Thank
keep
you.
coming and you're doing the work. Excellent. Um, Let me see. Hey, let me go over to Drew in Hawaii, check in with some of the new people that just came for the first time. How are you liking the meeting so far?
I'm loving it. This is cool. This reminds me of IOP, basically.
You know, it's kind of looks like AA. Well, it's AA
Yeah,
class, AA
it's
101.
like intensive outpatient now, kind of. I've done a
But
few of those.
do they take you through the steps in IOP or they don't?
Actually, they did win my residential at Hinamalka over on Oahu there.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
come up to Hawaii for this.
Well, you're welcome. Oh, are you an IOP in Hawaii?
I was my I had I was in a halfway house over there after I went to residential, and I started my first couple weeks of IOP and breached contract kind of at the place I was staying. I was supposed to keep a job. I ended up hurting myself on the job. Blah blah blah. Lost the place. Moved back here to my parents on the Big Island. So
Oh wow, isn't that
yeah, it's been
it's like
exciting.
are you looking out at the Pacific Ocean this very minute?
No, I'm looking. We're in the middle of the rainforest, but the Pacific Ocean, it is right there.
I know it's not far. I know I get
No,
it.
it's walking distance.
All right. Anyways, you're welcome to come.
That's
Usually
awesome.
we recommend come for 5
I
days in a
will.
row.
Yeah.
Okay. And all right. Good.
Yeah, I
Glad
do
you.
a 8 o'clock meeting here in Hawaii. It's
What time is
online
it there
also.
now?
It is almost 2, I believe.
All right. All right.
Yeah, 2:06.
Glad you're here. If any of you guys want to watch and listen to us, we put all our classes on YouTube, and Matt's going to put up a link to our YouTube channel. You can go there and listen to the various steps. Let's see here. Where's some of the other? Hey, Mike, 55 days. Is this your first time here? How are you enjoying today's meeting?
Yeah, it's my first time here. It's pretty interesting. I do AA meetings outside of here as well. I try to hit 2 a day.
Where are you?
I'm in Medina, Ohio.
And oh, are you like in a treatment center or something, or halfway?
No. Just at home.
All
And
right. Well,
I've got there's a lot of local meetings here, so you can pretty much go from early
you're
morning
welcome to
till
come.
late at night.
You're
Oh, thank you.
same to you. You're welcome to come every day for 5 days. If you want to see how you like it, we'll put you to work. Let's talk to Luis in Texas. How are you? How are you liking today's meeting, Luis? You have to unmute though, man. Jan to Luis, you're still muted.
Okay,
There you
okay.
are. Yeah.
No, it's very interesting. I it's something new compared to down here. You just show up to majority of classes. It's more how you say textbook. This is interesting. And I want
Well,
to
we
make a
use.
clarification.
Okay.
I want to make a clarification real quick. No, when I said I was sober, I was thinking drugs, and I didn't know about alcohol. I've been sober on alcohol about 4 years.
Okay, and you're off drugs for 16.
Yes.
Good to hear. All right, so you're welcome to come. We're here every day. Come for 5 days in a row. Charlie in Nebraska. Hey, Charlie, how are you? How have you liked the meeting so far? 3 days sober, huh? Jan to Charlie. Jan. Hey, Cassie, have you put up your Christmas decorations yet?
Yeah, before I married my husband, I decorated on Veterans Day.
What? You put your Christmas decorations up on Veterans Day? They're up now? That's so
Well,
exciting.
we had a compromise. We do Black Friday because Veterans Day was way too early for Nick, so we compromised.
Oh my
But yes,
God.
they're up now.
I put mine up right after Halloween. And I live in Boulder. So Boulder people, like when the pandemic came, it was an excuse for people to put up trippy lights, and they've been up ever since, if you know what I'm saying. Okay. Glad you're here. Who
Thank
else?
you.
Rebecca, what are you working on? How are you? Jan to Rebecca.
Hi, Rebecca Alcoholic. I'm doing 10-11, but I am backtracking on one last step 9, which I will send to you.
Yeah, how are you doing? How's life?
I'm doing well. Physically, I'm kind of hurting a little bit now.
Physically?
Yeah, due to my last crisis, alcoholic crisis.
Oh, uh,
Yeah.
oh, they finished my car. That's 4 hours, 5 hours later. Okay. Now I have to go get it. Uh, I think we're done, right, Matt? You want to read the promises?
Sure. Mad Alcoholic. These are the promises on page 83 of the big book. If we're painstaking about this phase of our development, we'll be amazed before we are halfway through. We're going to know a new freedom and a new happiness. We'll not regret the past nor wish to shut the door on it. We'll comprehend the word serenity, and we will know peace. No matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how our experience can benefit others. That feeling of uselessness and self-pity will disappear. We'll lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows. Self-seeking will slip away. Our whole attitude and outlook upon life will change. Fear of people and of economic insecurity will leave us. We'll intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle us. We'll suddenly realize that God is doing for us what we could not do for ourselves. Are these extravagant promises? We think not. They're being fulfilled among us, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. They'll always materialize if we work for them.
Thank you. Here's the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Okay, and this meeting is officially over. And then I've flipped the host over to, let me see here. I think let's see, how do we do this? Oh, I have to take it back for a second to, okay, reclaim host. Okay, so now, uh, okay, you sure you want to